So an ancient shipwreck has been discovered in the Mediterranean. It's said to have sailed 2,000 years ago during the height of the Roman Empire. My next guest has seen it. He has been there, and he's back in Florida. Jarrod Jablonski is with Global Underwater Explorers, fresh in from overseas. How are you, Jarrod? And good morning to you.
I'm great, Bill. Good morning to you. It's great to be here.
I want our viewers to know you work for a nonprofit. You do work all over the world, but what did you find off the coast of Italy?
This is an extension of a Project Baseline activity that we have going on, and off the coast of Italy there, we were exploring a number of areas that the Sicilian government had identified as potential targets. A group called Aurora Trust had done a little bit of ROV drops in the area, and we were going down to try to identify in more detail one of these ancient shipwrecks.
What did it teach you? Or maybe what does it teach us, Jarrod?
Well, I think it, really tells us a lot about what was going on during this time. I mean, it's really fascinating for me as a human being and as a diver to think about 300 BC, about 2,200 years ago. I think we can learn a lot about ancient trade during that time period and the historical significance of this period of time as well.
Yeah, but this is 200 years before Christ. I mean,
yeah, it's amazing.
2,200. How do I know I can believe you?
Well, that's actually amazing. I've asked that question myself on a number of different projects, but the researchers are really quite good at defining a very specific date relative to the amphora. Those are the containers that would transport food and wine around the world, and they're really quite precise at identifying the region and the date of these things. And then, of course, we also have more rigorous scientific analysis that can actually locate the location and time period that the clay that was used for these terracotta style amphora can be where they came from.
Wow, but specifically, how did you know that a certain boat had passed through that period of the ocean?
Well, there have been a number of scans by some work that had been done by Aurora Trust in the area with the Sicilian government, and they had identified this as an ancient shipwreck region and had identified through ROV and camera drops that this was a very specific and interesting site. There just hadn't been very much documentation, and no one had discovered this fascinating altar that we located down there as well.
Wow, and now you have. Jarrod, thanks for sharing your story, okay? Jarrod Jablonski with some amazing history from the deep. Thank you.
Fascinating.
In Gainesville.
Love that.